y'all. Welcome back to Lifestyle. Listen, if you can't get enough of us, you're watching on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. Guess what? Next year, we'll also have another show on Channel 5, a 30-minute show, so be sure to watch for that. If you've got your DVR set on Lifestyle with Denise Simons, it should go ahead and DVR. We'll be telling you much more about that coming up in the days ahead. I'm really excited about that. Well, we're talking with Justin Higginbotham of Designer Floors. Justin, you're my go-to guy. We're always talking about anything that's design, remodeling, decorating of the home. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, tell me what you've been working on lately. You said that you've been working on kitchens, baths, remodeling.
We've been doing a lot recently, so pretty much any room of the house you have, we've been in.
I know. And, you know, I was in the showroom. We've got to talk about the showroom because I know you're not in the showroom much, but I was in there the other day because you're always out in the field. But one of the things that I want everybody to know is that your selection of flooring is one of the best ever.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so tell everybody about your showroom and where they can come and visit you. They don't have to set up an appointment, but it would be nice if they want to work with any of the designers.
It would definitely be helpful to set up an appointment,
Okay.
but the doors are always open during normal business hours. We're located in the Bellevue area. The address is 8200 Highway 100, and we have really turned into now a one-stop shop. So whatever you are looking for your house, flooring, all types of flooring, also cabinets, countertops, window treatments, we have it all.
Yeah, and you also have books. I noticed many books, even for fabrics. Now, you can get a consultation with some of your designers. You have designers on staff as well.
Correct. We have designers on staff.
And but best to call and make an appointment, but they can always stop in. Now, I noticed too that you did have a few accessory items that people could stop in. Is that cash and carry?
Yes, that is cash and carry. So we have some lamps and also some artwork and just other little things to go around the house. If that's, you know, what you're looking for, stop on by.
Yeah. Well, I came in the other day and everybody was just scattering because all of you had jobs going on. It was really exciting. And I picked up a few pieces of tile. We're going to talk about tile. You've done some work recently. Let's look at some of the images of what you've done and tell me about this beautiful pathway. Now, you've laid this pathway and it's very interesting the way you've designed it.
The homeowner wanted this entire room to be tiled, but wanted a pathway out of tile in a different color to snake through it. So we had to do a couple special things here, and also she changed the design on us again and wanted the pathway to be a little bit more intricate. So the tiles started off as 13 by 13s. They were all cut down to where it has a diagonal border going around the outside of it, and then all the center tiles were cut into rectangles and then done on a brick pattern.
Now, I noticed that it does, like you said, it snakes through because obviously the doorways did not line up, and honestly, this gives it more of an interest, I think.
Absolutely. It was a very fun project and one that was very time-consuming as well. But then the other thing with it, just to add one more layer of complexity to the rest of the floor, we incorporated different size tiles for the rest of the field as well.
I like that. I like that, and I like how you cut, you know, the different shapes from the same type of tile. Now, tell me about this floor.
This is the kitchen, so we used two different size tiles for the kitchen. Those were, I believe, 12 by 12s and 12 by 18s that were staggered throughout the floor, and those have a slate look to them. That's actually a porcelain tile, so that really helps as far as just the maintenance aspect of the floor.
Oh, so you didn't even have to seal this?
We put a sealer on it just to give it a little bit more of a higher gloss.
Oh, okay.
So that's where you can kind of see that, but it's a porcelain tile, so as far as cleanability goes, it's very, very low maintenance.
And it's going to be very durable. Now, here's the
Correct.
plank flooring. I actually brought in a piece of this. I saw this in your showroom, plank flooring, if you do not want the maintenance of wood flooring.
This is in the laundry room, so again, just at a shot behind the door, they have a drain in the floor just in case there is ever a water leak there, because there's hardwood throughout the hallway just off of that room. But that's definitely something where just to add a little bit of a different look, and it's really something that's starting to catch on. The manufacturers are doing a much better job with the wood plank flooring, given it a lot more depth to the actual product.
Let's show that plank that we've got there, because it comes in these long pieces, so it's sort of like a piece of wood.
Correct.
And but it has this wood grain to it, and like you said, they're getting better at making it look, you almost can't tell the difference. Now this is more of a weathered, and I noticed in the picture of the after, that's what you did as well, is the weathered look. But this also comes in different finishes, right? Different colors?
There's several different colors. Any manufacturer you go with for a wood plank tile, I'd say they're going to have at least 4 colors per line, just to try to cover all their bases as far as, you know, what people are going to want as their overall look. Some of the things you need to look for with tiles like this, because you're going to want to have a small grout joint, so it's important to get tiles that have what's called a rectified edge on it, which means once they manufacture the tile, they go ahead and, or once they press the tile, they go ahead and run it through a saw one more time just to make sure all your edges are the exact same width, so that way you don't end up with it, you know, being a 1/16 of an inch different on one side versus the other.
Right, because when you get ready to grout that. Now let me ask you this, because it looks like it's been finished on the end. What do you do, Justin, whenever you have to cut this? Does it make it have a raw edge?
It depends on what you're cutting it with.
Okay.
There's 3 different tools that I use to cut tile. One, I have a snap cutter, which it just scores the tile, and then it just puts enough pressure on it to just snap it.
Okay.
Depending on what the tile is, that can do a very clean break or one that you have to touch up a little bit. You can cut it with a wet saw, or if it's a cut that's going to be hidden, then you can cut it with a dry blade with a grinder.
But you don't have to worry about, the color is penetrated through the entire piece, right?
With some tiles.
Oh, so
Correct.
that is something you need to keep in
And that's
mind.
something that, if that's something that you're worried about, then you want to go with what's called a through color body porcelain tile, which means that whatever
wait a minute.
colors
Through body
color.
Through body color. Okay, that makes sense, because it's all the way through the body. Wow, there's so many things to think about. Now we've got some more images. You have been busy. You've got so much going on. This inlay floor. Wow, Justin, tell me about this. This is gorgeous.
This is the office in this particular home, and one of the things that just made this a little bit trickier is this is done with engineered hardwood, and it's just 2 different colors, again, out of the same line. We did the exact opposite in one of the other rooms where the floor is dark, but we use that same wood to do a lighter.
So are you telling me the dark pieces are just wood pieces that you've placed?
Correct. It's hardwood. It's hardwood flooring.
Yeah, that's good looking, and you don't need to worry about a rug.
That you don't.
Because it has a built-in rug. Now, here are some of the showers. You've put a lot of detail in this. Now, is this going to have a glass surround, or?
It does. This picture was taken just a couple days before the glass guys could get there.
Oh, okay.
So yes, it does have glass doors going around it.
I was going to think, wow, this is really open concept.
We can do it that way to where we can waterproof the entire room, so you don't necessarily need glass doors. But one of the other interesting things here in this picture, if you look real closely there in the center, you can just barely make out where the drain is, and that's because we used a new drain for this particular one that actually has a tileable top.
Okay.
So really the only thing you see is it just looks like an ungrouted tile is your drain.
Oh, I like that.
And then again, just trying to change some of the things up with the design for the floor. You can kind of make it out there with the way the pattern changes as it goes around and kind of, you know, accentuates, you know, your pathway kind of going into the shower there.
I like that. Now, it's the details. You talk about details are so important, and using the custom borders. So you've created borders here to kind of break up the design.
Most of this shower is, there's 2 different size tiles in here. One's the 18 by 18s that are on the lower section, and then it started off as 12 by 24s for the rest of it, but all those are cut down to either 12 by 12s or 6 by 6s. And then we used a resin liner bar. And
now, is that a metal finish on that resin liner bar?
It is.
Okay, because that's one of the things that you say is use the metal because now you've added another look, right?
And one of the other things that we did for both of these showers, there are no bullnose tiles anywhere in these showers. One of the companies whose products I really like to use is Schluter, and they make all these metal trim pieces to go anywhere where you're changing angle.
Okay, so instead of the traditional bullnose that we would normally see
Right.
used, you would use these metal trim pieces.
Correct. And so that's what we've actually done all around the niches. We've done them on the exterior of the shower, around the door frame and the shower curb, and they also we use the same ones right there profiling out the tub.
Oh, I like that. Is that a smaller profile? Is that than the bullnose?
It's actually about the same.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can actually, for the profiles, they come in several different heights to accommodate really any size tile that you're using.
Now tell me about this tub. I mean, you really feel like you're going up to, I don't know, it's just so kind of majestic. You walk up the stairs to go into the bath and then you see out the window. I like that. Now, did you put that on? Did you elevate that tub, or
No,
what
it
was the
new
reason?
construction and the builder, just the look that the homeowner wanted. They went ahead and had the tub deck built. All we had to do is put tile on it.
Was there a great view out that window? There has to be.
That piece of property is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I was going to say there had to be a reason that you wanted to look out that window, because you certainly wouldn't want to on purpose elevate, so that others could see in.
No, they have a lot of privacy
That
out
would
there at that particular house.
Yeah, that would not be good. Well, I brought a few things because I noticed that when I was in the showroom the other day, I wanted to show the mosaic tiles. You're using those a lot, and one of the things that you always say is change it up. Don't just use like a 12 by 12. A lot of people get stuck using the same piece throughout, but you say, break it up a little bit. What do you think about the mosaics?
There's a lot of different stuff you can do for borders, whether it's glass or whether it is just other types of tile. A lot of manufacturers, for whatever line they have, they will do, if it's a porcelain tile or a ceramic tile, they will make either a porcelain or ceramic accent strip.
Okay.
That way, if you want that accent strip to match, then you can have that wrap around.
Now, when you're dealing with like a 12 by 12, will that come in a 12 by 12, like a 12-inch length?
It'll be
Okay.
12 inches. They're standard as far as, for the most part, being about 12 inches in length.
Okay.
And about 3 to 4, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches in height.
Now, I noticed, though, that in some of the pictures that we were looking at, you created your own. Did you cut all of those on a diamond to create that pathway?
Yes, all of those tiles are cut. So for that particular room, I had 2 days just standing at a saw, just cutting tile all day long, just to get enough pieces for it.
Okay, now I have to ask, do you draw all of this out on paper or CAD or something before you get started? Or do you lay it out on the floor? What is your method? Just say a client calls you, they say, this is what I want something creative. What do you do?
We do a little bit of both, as far as just going through and kind of picking the overall patterns
Okay.
that the homeowner wants. And then once we kind of get into it, depending on what layout they're looking for, we'll either sketch it out, or for that particular room there with the pathway, we just started cutting tile and just laid it out on the floor to see, kind of what she was wanting.
Now, what do you do, Justin, if you are working with, just say the homeowner chose a 3/4 inch thick and then the other pattern was only 1/2 inch thick? How do you match those up? How do you use those two products together?
There are several different things you can do there, whether it's adding a additional layer of underlayment or for tile underlayment, not just like a wood underlayment. There's also different types of board that's out there. One that I use a lot is, again, made by Schluter, and it's 3/16 of an inch thick, and it's not only appropriate for tile, but it's also waterproof as well. So it's something, whether you want to use it on the floor or in a shower if you just want something to build up a little bit.
Right, right, to make all of that match, because it's really important, especially in a pathway. When you did that pathway, it's really important to have all of that to be very seamless, because you don't want any cracks.
Correct. And
yeah.
one of the other challenges there, anytime you're incorporating large tiles and small tiles, all those small tiles have to be built up to the height of the largest tile.
Now, do you do that with extra of the
thin set?
Thin set or the mastic?
At times, yes. It
Okay.
just kind of depends on each individual project.
Okay. Well, I had to show this because I brought this in. I actually had used this in the bottom of these are rocks, but they're really smooth rocks, and they're on a mesh. Tell me why they put them on the mesh. I know that that's going to make it easier, right?
They make my life a lot easier because I'm not trying to go through and put each individual pebble down. They put it on the mesh.
Yeah.
That each sheet, they kind of have like an arc to them, so the sheets go together.
Right.
And then from there, the installer just takes the sheet, drops it down, puts the next one, and it just makes the installer's life a lot easier rather than having to take those individual pieces and try to place them.
You know, I'm sure at some point somebody placed these rocks one at a time and then said, hey, let's put this on a mesh. I think that would be better. Yeah, it makes your life a lot easier. And a lot of times, even the mosaics will come on the mesh as well, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, you've given us some great ideas. You always, and you're so busy, but you will take on clients. You want people to come down to Designer Floors, go down to the showroom on Highway 100, and you can book an appointment. Now, you can call Justin. He is really busy, but there's other people as well that they can talk to, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good deal. Well, coming up, we have got our party favors. We'll hand them out right after this.